Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 6 of the T.A.C. SMP. And today we are going, I don't know why I'm talking like that. Anyway, we're getting into Apothosis a little bit more. So, you can see I've got all of the hard-forged seashelves, but now we need to actually rectify this rectification. So, rectification. Let's see, rectification. So there's a few things that we can do. The best one is shelf of end fused rectification. So we need to get a couple of those. It looks like we actually need to get at least one of these and at least one of these. Okay. And that's just kind of like an at least. We could definitely go for this one, but this is also kind of just useless. But it looks like we actually need to go for two of these anyway. So we need two more seashelves. Okay. And then we need some honeycomb blocks. Do I have any honeycomb? I highly doubt I have any honeycomb. I doubt I have any honey of any sort in my system. I do have honey, but I don't think I can do anything with that. Okay. So, what we need to do now is go find some bees, I guess. I mean, could we? Should we? Can we? Hold on. If I remember, we do have a mod in here. This might be a bad idea. Where's that honeycomb? I have slash home, so I'm not afraid. I need the actual... this one. Yeah. Can I do anything with these? No, okay, so these are decorations. But we have this whole biome with tons and tons of honey blocks. You lack the protection of the hive effect. So yeah, this whole thing is... so what happens if I get near these? Okay, so these guys actually do come at me. So, but yeah, this is a whole new world. And if we actually have the proper protection, this would actually not be a bad idea. But I'm coming in here just to steal some and then just get out of here. That was the whole idea. I remember we had the mod. I want to just run in there and steal some. Okay. Never again. But we got the honeycomb blocks that we need, which is fantastic. So now what we should be able to do is whenever we infuse these, we should then be able to create the rectification ones, right? So we should be able to create this one, and then this one, and then this one. So let's get that going. I'm so glad I remembered we had that mod. That made things so much quicker. All right, so toss both of these in here, and we're just going to infuse it, and then we can then craft this shelf. And then, of course, we're going to want another one of these, which it looks like we may be out of amethyst. All right, so it's because I converted most of it down, I think, but that's okay. So then shelf, and then we want to do probably 8 of those at least. Then that, and then this. Okay. So we're going to place that there, this here, and then this should have 0 rectification. Okay. And I don't know if we can actually improve rectification. Here, let's try this. I don't think there's really any penalty of doing this. If we just quickly go use, grab some more amethyst blocks. I can go hunt down some geodes, by the way. I'm not afraid to do that. I know where plenty of them are. So we grab this one, and we grab this one. So we've got... will this give us... okay, so this does give us rectification. So we could, in theory, go for a higher rectification, but I think for right now we're gonna cease on this operation. What I want to do now is I want to quickly take out some of these wither skeleton skulls. It looks like the server may be lagging. Okay, so I've quickly just taken out the wither skeleton skulls, and I took out one pearlescent shelf. And then I also added a whole bunch of candles, which give plus 1.25 arcana. So that gives us a max level of everything, and then a mid quanta, so a mid-level quanta. And then this should be everything, right? No. We need to reduce the quanta just a little bit more. Okay, so do we have anything that subtracts from the quanta? Quanta. What do we have? We have a melon shelf. But that gives... Okay, so we can try a melon shelf real quick. All right. And we should be able to hopefully get the Library of Alexandria. Overshot it. I always do. That's all right. So now we should be able to do... There's a candle over in this direction. So we could put that there, and then the candle here. And that should give us exactly what we need. Fantastic. Without any more compromises. Awesome. So now we have the Library of Alexandria. The biggest difference with this, by the way, between that the old library and this library is, if we look up library, is the level capacity. So you can see this one does a lot higher levels, and I basically think that does like storage. It's not like what you can pull out. So for example, now I can have a ton of air affinity books, or levels of air affinity, or levels of efficiency or fortune. I can have more than what I was going to have in the original library. So just keep that in mind. But I think for right now, I just kind of want to grab some tomes. If you don't know what tomes are, Apotheosis adds basically like a template for a certain enchant. So for example, if we wanted to look at chest plate enchants, we could grab tomes of chest plates, and we can grab a couple of these, and we can come to the enchantment table, and we can grab these tomes, which basically will have enchantments for specifically a chest plate. Of course, there might be like unbreaking and stuff in here, but this is a good way to fill up your library, which is awesome. So if we quickly just toss these in here, and we can look at unbreaking, for example. So we should have had a few of these in here, which is great. But yeah, you can just keep and continuously doing that. Of course, if we wanted to, we could add more rectification, and that would make this enchantments just a little bit better, I think. But for right now, this is our finalized enchantment setup. Alrighty. So that way we can get better enchants for our sword and stuff, and I think that's where we're going to end on that one. Let's get into crafting. Auto crafting is something that I very, very much want to get into because we need to get the highest tier solar panel. So here we have the solar panel V. What is that? 9, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it's 8. Okay. And that is a capacity or a transfer and generation. Look at the generation, 32,000 FE a tick. This is going to be used for our equipment charging and only our equipment charging. So let's quickly grab some auto crafters, right? That's what we're going to look at. So refined network. So we're going to actually grab a network receiver and transmitter, which is going to cost a piece of netherite. But that will be worth it in the end here. So, machine casing, network receiver, machine casing, network. Oop, I thought I just made one of those. Network transmitter. What is happening? My refined storage system being buggy again? Probably. All right, so receiver, transmitter. The transmitter, oh, we also need a network card. So we need this right here. And then I think for right now, we're just going to place this transmitter here because this is going to be like our main one for the actual warehouse area. And of course, the warehouse is not finished yet. We'll probably get into that later. All right, so I'm going to take this stuff out for right now. And we're going to put the network receiver here and shift right click with the network card. And then in the transmitter, put the network card. And then we can actually grab a crafter. So we have, of course, we do have extra storage in here, which is going to be super useful. But let's make up a few basic things. So crafter. And then we want to convert this to an iron crafter. And then maybe to a gold crafter. No, we need knurl. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to teach this system how to make all this stuff. But we also want to grab a couple more normal crafters. Because we are going to need to make a pattern terminal, I think, or pattern grid. This thing right here. Alright, pattern grid. Pattern grid. Pattern grid. Yeah, see, it keeps doing that, where it's like not saying you have that in there. But I do have a pattern, so I don't know what's happening with that. Alright, and this can probably just go right here for right now. This is not going to be the like final placement, but what we want to teach this is a pattern recipe. So go up here, JEI two-way. So pattern. Teach this thing how to make a pattern, but also we need to make another pattern, so let's do that real fast. Pattern, craft, create pattern, and then I think what we'll do is for patterns and craft, like our normal crafting recipe patterns, I probably want to toss them down here. Oh, this is all my cables, isn't it? I mean, yeah, this will work. Just kind of nook it back here or something. Yeah. And then we can toss in our pattern here. Let's grab a cable. Grab a cover. Might as well. And then our actual stone block went into here. So let's grab a couple of those out, as this is still auto-magnetizing all of that stuff. And then we can just set this right here for right now. And then once we get more crafters, we can just set them here. All right. So the other thing we're going to have to teach our system is quartz-enriched iron. So quartz... let's just do quartz iron. Should pop up pretty quickly. We'll teach this. And then before we can do that, we do need to request a few patterns. So let's just grab 32 patterns. Start. Nope, not enough. 10. Start. Perfect. And then we want the, I think it's the crafting manager. So I know we have the crafting grid, the crafting monitor, and the crafting manager. I think the manager is what we want. I think. I don't always get these confused, honestly. Okay, so this was the one I want. So now we can just toss this into the Iron Crafter, and we now have access to that. Booster. If we just look up booster, we should be able to find this. I want to grab an infinity range booster here, because I am tired of having to go back and forth to get items out of the system. Yeah, we do have a network receiver. We could put a wireless one there, but I don't want to actually do that. I want to just be able to access this from anywhere, even across the map, basically. So we're going to grab this. Of course, we do have the dimensional one, but I do not have the power system for that right now. So let's get in here. And let's go down here, place this in here. We could take these other range upgrades off of this. I guess I could have just used these to do that. But it looks like, yeah, we're going to run out of power immediately, which is not a good thing. I'm actually not charging anything, I don't think, either. All right, let's go downstairs. Yeah, it is draining it too fast, so it's not even able to be used. Okay, so let's put this jetpack back on so I can actually fly up here. So we're going to have to figure out a few things with power systems soon, but we can actually change this back out for a range upgrade. And you can see, yeah, we're using 145, and if we go here, we are using 4,000, okay? So our cell can't even pull out that much per tick. So let's quickly try to remedy that. Once this gets back online here. So if we look at at thermal, and we look at cell, or is it just augment? Yeah, look at augment. Yeah, so these right here. So we probably want to transfer. I think I kind of want to do an expanded, just transfer one. So we need silver. Do I have any silver? So I do have some silver in here. Do I have a fortune pickaxe? I can't remember. Did I make that? I never made it fortune. Hold on, let me go make this fortune. What am I doing? Because if I break the silver ore, I can actually get some better drops. So let's go here. Let's go here. Fortune. Fortune 5. Fantastic. Okay. And then let's go back up here. And let's grab an anvil, which I have one right here. And then throw this on here. Okay. Now let's grab some silver. I'll go with this one. Just deep slate. It'll be fine. But I do plan on getting a digital miner quite quickly, sooner or later. I'm hoping maybe next episode we'll be able to get up to that, because I will be doing a lot of mechanism stuff off camera, just because it's a lot easier. All right, so this is an expanded RF coil. Fantastic. So let's go down here. Let's give this to this, and now we should be able to output 8,000 and input 8,000 at a time. But I don't think we're going to have enough power for this. These dynamos do not produce a whole lot of steam, so I think what we need to do is kind of work on getting just a little bit of a better power situation going. So let's look at thermal. Let's look at linkage amplifier. Or no, we need to look at dynamos. We need to look at, let's see. So I want to grab a couple of these, but I need electrum. Let's see, fuel efficiency, generation rate. So we need signalum plates, which require signalum itself, which requires silver. So I don't want to grab too much of this. Let's go for just at least a stack. Okay. And then let's go for an engineer's hammer, just so we don't have to worry about making another machine right now. So 2. How many do we have down there? 9. So I want 1 for each. So 18 plates. Okay. And then silver gears. 1, 2, 3. So 18 of these if I can. All right, more silver. All right, so let's make 9 of these. Okay. And then what we should be able to do is throw these in here. Since these are considered dynamos, we need to get to this back one here. Okay. So that should start producing more steam. And one of the other things, by the way, is these, whenever they're flashing like that, I'm pretty sure they actually lose energy because of this. Prevents RF from being lost after coil saturation. And I think there is no coil saturation because it's not actually being able to be turned on long enough. But you can see that we are getting an overflow of steam, which is fantastic. Exactly what we want. Awesome, awesome. So this is helping. And we can look here. We can see that the steam production is 40. If we take this out, it goes down to 20. Right? But we are a little bit less efficient. That is something else you've got to kind of keep in mind. The more flux link or the auxiliary reaction chambers you have in here, the less efficient you're going to be. And that is fuel efficiency, by the way. So the more we have of these, so if I were to put another one in here, and then have this excitation field limiter, excitation field limiter, this thing right here. So if we were to have this in here, this would be a good thing. Then I could possibly just have 3 of these, and it would be a definite bigger situation than what we have. But I do want to keep going on crafting. And one of the reasons we want to look at crafting, of course, is because of Solar Flux Reborn, I believe is the name of it. Solar Flux, or Solar, yeah, so Solar Flux Reborn. And we want to craft up this. And we want to get rid of this. We want to make sure we're using oak planks. And then we'll teach this thing how to make oak planks as well. So oak planks, there's our first recipe. Let's actually craft up some patterns here, because we don't have enough of these. I know that for a fact. And then I don't have speed upgrades in my crafting terminal, I don't think, or pattern thing. No. those are going to be useful. So we've got the solar panel. We'll need to make some mirrors, which we have everything for that. Now we press use on this. Of course, you can see there's a whole bunch of different stuff you can make. But solar panel 1 is actually required to make solar panel 2. Okay? So then we'll need to press R on pistons to get this. We'll want to make sure we have oak planks. I think it's using the one that has the most quantity in our system, by the way. So that's fine. And then, of course, solar panel, we want to make sure we are just using a piston. And then let's press use on this. All right. So we're going to have, let's make sure we're doing this. Solar panel 1, solar panel 2, and then all the other crafting ingredients will go here. So photovoltaic cells, which are going to require lapis. So we're going to have to get a little bit more lapis to even bother with this, but that's all right. So use, let's take a peek at solar panel. So solar panel 3, we need to also make redstone repeaters. We're just going to go with this recipe. And then we're going to go with this recipe. Let's grab oak planks. So we make sticks. That way we're just not wasting time crafting either. And then let's make sure we have this recipe in here as well. And then solar panel. So we're looking at 4 now, which requires a clock, which also requires different cells, I think, right? These are 2. Okay. So that's going to require clay, photovoltaic cell 1, and more lapis. All right. And then this is the next one. And then we're going to have to take photovoltaic cells 3. All right. So you can see that this is going to be a lot of different materials, which we don't have all of these currently. But we'll be fine for right now. And I also can probably upgrade this crafter real quick as well. So let's go do that. I have enough room for all the patterns, I'm pretty sure. But the bigger the crafter, the better, because we're going to be pumping this thing full of recipes. So press use on this. So we need neural processors, which require raw improved. So let's grab a... Oh, what did I not have? Silicone? All right, so this is why we're going to need to get smelting stuff done. So let me get some silicone here, which is just going to be smelted down quartz. We can just toss that in here. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we've got our neural processors here. And now we can grab a better crafter, which is the gold crafter. And maybe the diamond crafter? Yes, perfect. So we can get this one. We could get this one later, because this needs 4 blocks of netherite. So we don't have that yet, but in the future. Alright, so we can place this back down. And we have a lot more storage capacity for patterns, which is a good thing early on. And I'm actually going to kind of organize this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is actually 3, that's 4, and that's 5. Alright, and then the rest of these, let's kind of just keep solar panel stuff down here for right now. I'm not really cared about the order of that one, at least. Okay. So now what we can look at is kind of what else do we need. So solar panels again. We stopped at 5. So here's 6. Oop, nope, wrong thing. Here's 6. And then 6, of course, is going to require more photovoltaic cells. And actually something else this time. Blazing coating. Okay. And then blaze powder. I'm not really concerned about blaze powder because we have infinite blaze rods. So I'm not worried about macerating it or anything right now. And that's it, right? Just diamond, quartz, blocks. Okay. So we have everything else. So the next one is, what is that? 7, right? 7. And that'll be Dragon's Breath, which we don't have automated in any sort. But we'll need the photovoltaic cell 5. And then Emerald Glass. Man, these are going to take a while to craft unless we get speed upgrades. Okay, so then Solar Panel V8, which require Dragon Eggs. And also another photovoltaic cell tier. Oh, I put this one in the wrong spot. And then Ender Glass, which is this. Which is this. Okay. And I think that makes those, right? That is completed Solar Panel V8. I hope. Of course, we don't have everything to craft these, but we will sooner or later. So if I looked, and if I wanted to craft one solar panel V8, I would need 679 more lapis, and then I could craft this completely. And I think I'd only really need like 2 of these in total, um, and you get 2 of them per, right? And I don't think I even marked that, but that's okay. So we need more lapis, but that is a future plan anyway. So let's get into. Well, I guess we could actually see if I can put this card in here now. Let's give it a shot. Is that keeping balance or is it dropping here? It is dropping. Okay. So we still aren't to that stage, but how is the Steam doing? Okay, so we're good on Steam. All right, so I know what that means. We need to just get better transmission of power and also probably a little bit less fuel efficiency and more production out of that. But also, we kind of just need to have a better solution for the center of this. Because while this is nice to have, pumping directly into this is not being a good thing because we need a lot more power transmission than what we have. So maybe I look at the RF coils again. And instead of capacity, we get transfer. I mean, we can take a peek at that. Also, we have a resonant integral component thing in here. What if I changed this to this and then increased this to max? Okay. And then these all have advanced pipe upgrades in them. And they are generating 80 RF a tick. So these aren't really generating a whole lot of power per tick either. But now that we have a backlog of steam, means that we could add more steam dynamos. But all right, I'll do that off camera. We just keep going back to them. So for right now, let's grab a wireless access point or transmitter. This thing right here. We could probably learn to auto-craft machine casings and stuff too. You kind of just use machine crafting or auto-crafting to actually just kind of advance yourself in the beginning. And sooner or later, you'll basically have a hands-off approach to a lot of this. So range upgrade, recipe. Okay, 4 of those. And then 4 of these. And then we're just going to go place this over here for right now. But I did finish this. I didn't even mention this. I did finish this building. We've got some cracked bricks on the side. We got like a stone floor with some cracks and andesite and gravel in it. But I think this just kind of adds to the building because it's a warehouse, right? We're not putting down some fancy wooden floor. It is a warehouse through and through. And that is going to be the entire point of this building. So keep that in mind. It's not going to look pretty. That's not the point of this one. But all right, let's grab a crafter. So this one right here. And let's look at mechanism. Alrighty, so we've got the metallurgic infuser here, upgraded to a basic infusing factory, which, if you don't know, you can actually just put the metallurgic infuser in the middle, 2 basic control circuits, 4 redstone, and 2 iron ingots. Of course, normally you would have to make the basic control circuits, which is using a metallurgic infuser, with 2 redstone and an osmium ingot to then get a 1 basic control circuit. But we can kind of cheese this a little bit. So I actually want to grab. I want to see if I can grab 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can upgrade these bad boys. So the reason I want to upgrade these and have 4 of these right away is because we want to actually get to crafters. And I think I need to actually teach the system how to auto-craft crafters, which needs redstone furnace or something, I think, because we don't have advanced processors. That's right. Okay. I also spent some time lighting up the area real fast, so we have that going for us. So before I think we get the metallurgic infuser down, let's grab a smelting factory here. Energized smelter. So we need a steel casing, which requires steel. Okay, so this is why we needed the metallurgic infuser. Okay. So let's grab a flux point, and let's just use this real quick. Let's make some steel. Nope, not that. Flux point. So we've got flux plugs. Okay, so this is just... Let's just take this one. So we're just going to open this network. Looks like we got a few more people's networks on here, which is fantastic. I love how everybody but Pumpkins is private. He did his password protected, but that's okay. So power surge, bypass limit, chunk loading, all of that jazz. Let's go for... We need coal. Okay. So let's just grab a couple stacks of coal. We need some iron. And we can toss this into the yellow. Toss this into here. Do auto sort on. And we're just going to let this run. And this should make, I believe, enriched iron. Yes, okay. And then enriched iron needs to go back into the metallurgic infuser to make steel dust. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place another one of these down for right now. Put another stack of coal in here. And on the right side, we're going to output. We're going to do auto eject on. Auto sort here. And this should start making that. So energy pipes. Let's grab crescent hammer or something. Do I even have one in here? Looks like I may have thrown it in here. Yes, okay. So do this. And then at pipes so we can get a better upgrade. Just do this. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're getting steel dust. And of course, I'm just going to go throw this into a smeltery. But this will be getting the steel ingots that we need to make steel casings, and then get the smeltery, and then get all that. The reason I want to use Mechanism's smeltery, or energetic smelter, is because it is actually a lot more efficient. See how this basic factory has 3 slots? The ultimate tier of this actually has, I believe, 5 or 6 slots. Basically just a lot more. And it can do it all at once. So every time you turn this on, this auto sort on, it divides the stack evenly between the amount of slots you have, and that'll all process at once. Basically, they're like each individual furnace block in a sense, and they all operate, they all use power, a little bit more power each tier, but they all operate independently, so you can get a lot more smelting per operation. So, having that, definitely going to be a lot better than having a redstone furnace from thermal or anything like that. So, that is a good thing. Alright, so steel casing, perfect. And let's get a smelter up and running. It is just the energized smelter. I kind of forget the name of this one always, but that's okay. And we're not actually going to upgrade this normally. We have some tier upgrades from the dungeons we have looted in the past. So let's set this down. So we're going to go basic, advanced, elite, and then ultimate. So let's see, 3, 6. So this actually has 9 slots. I couldn't remember. But each tier has a different amount of slots, so keep that in mind. And then we can, of course, turn on auto sort, and this would allow for us to have, let's actually just grab like a stack of cobblestone or something so I can demonstrate this. Where is cobblestone? Right here. So, of course, throwing this in here, it just immediately divides it all up. So if I need like 128 basic, basic processors from refined storage, I think that's what they're called, right? Basic. Yeah, these things. If I needed 128 of these to become basic processors, basically it would just divide them all evenly, and throwing speed upgrades in here, which we'll get into later, will make this significantly quicker. So that is fantastic. Now we can actually get this hooked up to a crafter. Now we can get some refined storage stuff done here, automated a little bit. So let's get rid of, oh, this is almost done. So this is empty, so we can take this out. Maybe. It's ghost blocking a little here. There we go. Okay, so this is done. This is also empty. So now what I want to do is I want to take the ultimate smelting factory and a crafter. Where is the crafter? Okay, it's on me. Fantastic. And then we're going to say, we're going to put the flux point down here. Okay. And then we're going to need to grab the stone out of the backpack, of course, because that's where it auto-fills into. And then we're going to go here into the config, auto input on the back, and output on the top. And then we're going to just grab a chest. Oh, let's go gold chest. We don't really need to put a chest here. We could just auto export it, but that's okay. So export, is it an export or importer? We'll go with this one for right now. I don't genuinely remember every time. But if we grab some glass or sand for right now. We don't need sand or glass, but that's okay. But you can see that every single one of these is operating. And of course, if we wanted to, we can come in here with the muffle mod and look at mechanism. For some reason, this actually isn't as loud as it should be, but that's okay. But yeah, we can just mute that. All right, fantastic. And that gives us glass. Okay, so I do need an importer. Import into the system. So importer, which is this one. We do actually have the advanced importer in here too, which I can't remember. Does this actually provide... I think that one provides another upgrade slot, but I might be wrong. I know it allows for more filtering slots. I know that one for a fact, but I don't remember the other stuff. We got fallen pumpkin in here. But yeah, so the glass is slowly being exported. And if we wanted to speed this up, of course, we need to get some speed upgrades, which we have one. Let's see, can we craft any more of these? We can craft one more. And then you would want to get 4 speed upgrades to then get a stack upgrade. And that just makes things significantly quicker. So 3 speed and then 1 stack, which is 4 speed upgrades on top of the 3. All right, but yeah, that'll be automating this. So let's quickly run over to the base and make some patterns here. All right, so where are we at here? So we want processors, right? So we want to look at recipe for this. We want to look at a recipe for this. And we want to look at a recipe for this one. And I think the gold one. So press use on this one. And then go here. Okay, so this will be our smelting operations. And we also need to make sure we know how to craft this. Which we actually need more patterns for. And then on top of that, we're also going to need to know how to make processor bindings. And on top of this, we're going to need to know how to make silicone, which is this one right here, which is another smelting operation. Okay, so let's actually put these down here. And then this we'll put right here. Okay, and then we're going to make the diamond one. And then we're going to make the basic one. Where's the basic processor here? Right here. And then we're going to want to then look at the neural one. At refined processor. No, it's not going to be there. Okay. What mod is this from? Extra storage. That's where it's from. And we're just going to do this. Okay, this is the recipe. And then we're also going to need to make sure we know how to craft crafting tables. And that should be fine. All right, so let's come downstairs here. So this, all of these are going in here. And I could have just actually simply put them in through this. I completely forgot. Don't worry. I'll put them in here for right now. Okay. So now what we should be able to do is we should be able to turn this on to only craftables. So I want to grab 64 of these, 64 of these, 64 of these, and 64 of these. Okay, so we should see happen is if we actually run over here, you should see this thing turn on. Okay, and of course this isn't going to be the fastest thing in the world, but it is working. We'll get it to, you know, upgrading and speeding this stuff up later. But yeah, this is actually a really good step forward on this because I am finally able to actually start getting a little bit more refined storage stuff done because now we have a little bit of automation. And I'm going to put some more machines down. I believe like the mechanism crusher and a few other things to get a little bit of progress off camera. Because of course this isn't more. This is more of a kind of fly through it kind of thing. This is me just showing you how to do one of them. And I think we'll do the metallurgic infuser on camera because that one's always a little bit different. But I think for right now, we're going to wrap up this episode here. And next episode, I will have a few more mechanism machines done. I'll probably also get a few thermal machines put in here. And yeah, we are going to hopefully, in next episode, get into metallurgic infuser setup and also probably starting on ours soon because we also need to get the building at spawn done as well. So thank you guys so much for watching episode 5. This has been a fun episode because I'm getting further into tech. I know originally I said I was going to get into ours immediately, but getting this base set up and baseline and everything like that, power setup, all of that, we should be able to get a little bit further into ours a lot quicker because I don't have everything we need like tool-wise, and I would love to see what ours can offer still. So let's also quickly see if I can actually craft one of these. No, I still need 463 lapis. That's another thing, but oh well. Hopefully with ours, we can do some AoE stuff and actually create like a minor augment or a minor spell. I would love to try that. But AoE basically allows for you to mine a bigger area. I don't know how high you can stack this, but if we can do like a chunk breaker, that would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. We'll see. We will see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.